What's happening, guys? It's Jeremy Blanton, and today we're going to discuss something that's new out there in technology right now. You might have heard of it called Chat GPT or AI or artificial intelligence. It's programs that are out there that are allowing people to create content, find information, gather up stuff, details, whatever they need really quick on different topics. And so I decided today that I was going to test this out and see how does it do at writing things about Myrtle Beach. So what I did is I asked Chat GPT, which is one of the AIs that's out there, to write me a video script on 5 things people hate about living in Myrtle Beach. Now, to make sure that I don't get anything wrong, I'm going to actually read the script for you word for word. All of the video shots that you're going to see, it asked me to put into the video, and make sure you stay around to the end, because after this is done, I'm going to share with you a little bit about my thoughts on the video, things that it got right, some stuff that it probably got really wrong, and also explain to you why it's still important to have that human aspect when you're thinking about moving to Myrtle Beach. So let's get started. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to talk about 5 reasons why people hate living in Myrtle Beach. Reason number 1. Overcrowding. Myrtle Beach is a popular tourist destination, and during the peak season, it can get really crowded. This can make it difficult for locals to enjoy their own town and can lead to longer wait times at restaurants and attractions. Reason number 2. Traffic. With the influx of tourists, the roads in Myrtle Beach can get very congested, especially during rush hour. This can make commuting to work or school a frustrating experience for locals. Reason number 3, cost of living. Myrtle Beach has become a more expensive place to live in recent years. This is partly due to the demand for housing from both locals and tourists. The cost of living can be a barrier for those who want to live here long term. Reason number 4, nightlife. While there are plenty of places to go out and have fun in Myrtle Beach, some locals feel that nightlife scene can be too rowdy and overwhelming. This can make it difficult for those who prefer a quieter lifestyle. And number 5, weather. While the weather in Myrtle Beach is generally pleasant, the threat of hurricanes is a real concern for locals. This can lead to anxiety and stress during hurricane season, which lasts from June to November. Despite these challenges, Myrtle Beach is still a beautiful place to live. If you're considering moving here, it's important to weigh the pros and cons carefully before making a decision. Wow, wasn't that video epic and amazing? I know. AI did a great job writing in. I have to be honest, some of its points that it made are really valid, but some of the stuff is not quite right. And we're going to discuss this a little bit, and I'm going to do a little bit of a rebuttal. So the first thing on the list that it talks about is the crowds. You know, we live in a tourist town where people come on vacation almost year-round now. And yes, there can be parts of the beach that are more crowded than others. However, those are not normally the places where you're going to be living and moving to here in Myrtle Beach. Instead, you're going to be living in areas that are outside the crowded areas. You're going to want to live maybe in places like Carolina Forest or Sockasty, maybe down in Murrells Inlet or in Long, South Carolina. There's so many different parts of the beach where you can live that aren't quite as crowded as inside city limits, right down along the beach, along the strand, the strip, whatever you want to call it, where all of the activities take place. But one of the nice things about living here in the area is that you can be close enough to those things, but far enough away that when you don't want to be bothered by them, you're far enough away you can sit there and enjoy life. You know, there are grocery stores on the west side of the waterway. There's life that actually happens on the west side of the waterway here in Horry County. Some people don't realize that that's the case. They think everything is only over in the east side, and that's truly not the case anymore. There's so many things to do. You know, I live over in the Carolina Forest area, and I love living there because of my accessibility to get all around the beach, but also that I'm close enough that if I want to go down to the beach and go enjoy a day at the ocean, I hop in the car with my family, we drive over to the beach, we're there in 15 minutes, and we pull right into the Golden Mile. That's the segment of the beach where you have all residential properties around. There's not a lot of tourists in the area. There's not high-rise hotels. And when people are on vacation, they're going to go right out from their hotel to the beach. So that's why when you go into those areas or you're on vacation here, you're like, man, this beach is so crowded. Why? Because people don't want to take the time to carry all of the things a half mile down the beach and find an area where they can spread out and enjoy it. Whereas when we here as locals go down to the beach, there might be 10 other cars in the parking lot. What does that mean? Maybe 20 to 30 people down on the beach at that time. Not a lot of people. Plenty of space for us to go spread out our things and enjoy and relax and have a good time. So yes, we have a lot of traffic. Yes, we have a lot of crowding here, but really and truly, it's not that bad. Speaking of traffic, which was number 2 on their list, here in Myrtle Beach, we've learned, and when you're a local, how to get around the traffic. You learn, don't go on 501 in the middle of summer. 4th of July weekend is not the time to take a trip out to Conway on 501. You learn that, you don't want to go over down in the southern end of the beach, down to Pawleys Island in that area maybe around Memorial Day weekend. You may not want to go up to Little River in the middle of August because it's really crowded areas. But you learn that these are the spots where things get a little congested. There's a little bit of crowding that happens. You learn as a local though that Highway 31, it's a godsend to our area. It's a 6-lane highway that you can get on and just travel 65 miles an hour from one end of the beach to the other. You can be there in about 30 to 45 minutes. It's a real easy way to get around the beach and skip over all of the congestion, all of the backlog of traffic, and really make it from one end of the beach to the other in a fairly quick time. But once you live here, you learn all of these shortcuts. You learn the back roads and ways to kind of skip around. Like for example, 544, it's a great road that takes you down to the beach. And it's a way that you can cut off some of the time that you may spend on Highway 501. However, you don't want to use 544 on a Friday afternoon or a Saturday afternoon because all of the people who are coming down to the campgrounds take 544 because it gives them direct access into those campgrounds. So those sections of the beach on a Saturday afternoon are going to be really backed up with campers and trucks and everybody in RVs backing up down the road. And so it makes traffic really congested and heavy in those areas that time of day. So if you want to go to that segment of the beach, you learn, let's go there on a Monday afternoon or a Tuesday morning or a Wednesday night. You go to those spots in those times of the week and it's a lot less congested. So once you live here, you learn ways to get around the traffic and really and truly, it's not all that bad. The third item on the list that it talks about is housing and the prices going up. Well, let's just discuss this a minute. Over the last few years, it was correct. Housing prices here in Myrtle Beach have definitely gone up. But the reality is that prices all across the country have gone up during that same amount of time. If you can tell me a city or an area of the country that didn't have an increase in prices over the last 2 years, please leave it in the comments down below. I'll wait a minute. Yeah, you're not going to really know of any. The reality is that prices went up all across our country over the last few years. Here though in Myrtle Beach, while our prices did go up in a significant amount, they're still more affordable than other parts of the country. Heck, they're even more affordable than other parts of the state. I mean, you go down to Charleston, for example, that same house is going to be exponentially higher. You may spend an extra $50,000, $75,000, $150,000 for the same exact home down in Charleston as you would here in the Myrtle Beach area. So while prices have gone up over the last few years, it's still extremely affordable in comparison to other parts of the country. The nice part about it is this: when you're looking to buy the home here right now, yes, you're spending more money. But the good part is this: the home that you're selling right now in New York, New Jersey, Ohio, you're making more money than you did a few years ago there too. So it pretty much balances out and washes out in the end. And the last part that I wanted to talk about is the extreme weather, the hurricanes that we have here in our area. I grew up in Pennsylvania, and I liken hurricanes here in South Carolina to the snowstorms that we dealt with up in the Northeast. Whenever there was going to be a heavy snowstorm coming through the area, normally we were notified well in advance, maybe 5 days to a week before, to know, hey, there's a big storm coming through the area, and everybody would rush out of the house over to the grocery store, buy every loaf of bread and every bottle of milk out there. Don't ask me why we bought bread and milk. I haven't yet to this day understood that. If you know that too, please tell me that down below. But everybody runs to the store and gets it. Well, the same thing is true down here with hurricanes. Now, if you follow places like the Weather Channel, they're going to start telling you that as soon as a storm forms out in the Atlantic Ocean, that it's the end of the world and it's horrible. The reality is you don't listen to that. As I've shared in the past, in Ed We Trust, we follow Ed Piotrowski, one of our local meteorologists. He's going to give it to you straight. He's going to be open, honest, and very level-headed in it. But as we get closer to a major storm that might be affecting our area or bringing tropical storm weather here, Ed's going to start to give more and more information on a daily basis. Usually he goes live on his Facebook page about 8 o'clock at night on a daily basis during that storm time, and he's going to keep you updated as to what's going on. So just like how we prepare up in the Northeast for the snowstorm, you prepare down here just in the summertime instead of in the winter. The nice thing is we don't have to be bundled up in 17 layers while we're preparing our yard. So yes, storms can come through our area. And while we're talking about that, let's also discuss the other part of this, flooding. You know, people get concerned about flooding and are very worried about it being a major issue here in our area. You know, and they get kind of in this generic general with everything with it. You know, they say, oh, I don't want to buy a home in Conway because, well, the area floods. Well, if you really look at it, and I went to Google and checked this out, Conway, the city itself, is about 25 square mile area. So while it was a small area that had flooding, don't rule out the entire area based on just that. Those are things that you can't find out through AI. And so that's why, as I shared in the beginning, you want to make sure when you're thinking about moving to the area, you talk to the locals, you talk to somebody who's going to shoot you straight and give you the answers that you need. And while AI is great, it's not going to be able to give you all of that information. So if you're thinking about making the move to the area and you want to learn more about it, my contact information is down below. Feel free to shoot me an email. I'll see what I can do to help you with any questions you might have. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up, get that bell on, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.